¿Yo aquí? Sí. Bueno. Buenos días, bienvenidos a la...
Good morning. Welcome to the official press conference with Koke and Diego Pablo Simeone. First, we're going to have a few questions for Koke. Hi, Koke. We have to apply one of these teams' mottos. If you don't believe, don't turn up tomorrow. What do you think? How's the dressing room? Do you really think you can go to the next round? Morning. First of all, the team believes in itself, believes it has chances to go through. We're going out there to try and win the match, as we do with every match that we have to play. And there is a lot of excitement, of course. We're looking forward to this kind of game. This is the kind of game that, with the atmosphere, everything around it, quarterfinals of the Champions League, it's just spectacular. So there's not a lot to talk about. We have to go and prove whatever we have to prove on the pitch, and we'll try to win the game, of course.
David Medina marca. Tú que conoces bien a...
You know Griezmann really well. How do you see him physically and mentally? In which, after a few games in which he hasn't scored, we all know Griezmann. He's a top player, world-class player. He's one of the best in the world. He's won a World Cup with France. He's done a lot of things, a lot of good things here with the club. But not only him is going to play. There's going to be 10 more guys on the pitch that are going to give 100% on the pitch, plus our teammates who will be on the bench and in the stands. So we're going to do things all together. We're going to try and create chances, etc. We're going to try to score goals. And of course, I'm sure he will be up to the standards of the game. You haven't won at the Metropolitano for 6 games in Europe. Tomorrow you have to win. What do you think the cause of this strange streak is, and what the reason for it could be? And do you think that the UEFA suspension could affect you? I didn't know that we hadn't been without a win for 6 games. And as for the potential suspension, the club is working on it to try to postpone that punishment, and I hope we can count on everyone to support us in our stadium. We don't see quarterfinals of the Champions League every year. We've been lucky enough to play in the last few years, but we had a pandemic in the way. We had to play against Chelsea away, and people are really, really excited to be able to be back in our stadium and live through with this atmosphere. And I've been talking about it to some friends, some of my friends. It's been a while since I didn't see that sort of atmosphere. It reminds me of 2014 against Barcelona. So I hope we can repeat a night like that tomorrow. We never know what can happen in a football game because every game is different. But I hope we can relive a magic night like that of 2014. During the first leg, there was a lot of talking about the tactics of Atletico Madrid. I wanted to ask you what you think, if you felt comfortable on the pitch, and if you think that's the way to overcome City tomorrow. Well, we have a plan, and everything is working according to that plan. We made a huge effort during that game. We know that City loves possession and attacking you in very small spaces in order to cause you harm and create chances. But we are focused in winning the game. So we don't care what people say outside of the team. We have a plan, and we will try to execute it here tomorrow at the Wanda. Well, given how important fans are for you, do you think the punishment, the UEFA's punishment, is too much? Because only for 2 fans, 5,000 would have to pay for that. and well, Simeone was thrown bottles in the first game, etc. Do you think that UEFA should have said something about it? Well, I don't want to talk about things like that. I don't want to get in trouble for doing that. There's people inside the club who work on these things, and I have to focus on what I know what to do, which is playing football. It's a historic game tomorrow at the Wanda, and I would like all the fans to be there. But of course, somebody else in the club will try to work towards that. You just said that you were talking to some friends that you had a feeling that this was a different kind of game, you know. Last year, you said that whenever the atmosphere is more kind of against Atleti always rises to the challenge to have a message for the fans in a moment like this. I would like them to believe in us when things turn to, you know, appear to be the worst. We bring out the best in ourselves and we prove to be united. We're talking about the first team of the Atletico Madrid and the fans, of course. I think being united is very important in order to try to achieve a victory tomorrow. And if we go out there and try to win, I think we can go through to the next stage and be in the semi-finals of the Champions League.
Sorry.
¿Entendió? Sí.
There was some talk about tactics at the game at the Etihad Stadium. There was a comment made about prehistory, which you tweeted about. Could you talk about your feelings about why you decided to say that?
No, nada.
Nothing. I have nothing to say. Everyone has their own game philosophy. I love the way Manchester City plays. I love the way Atletico Madrid play with that passion, with that strength. We've been playing like that for 10 years. There's been a lot of teammates that have been through with Atletico Madrid in order to allow us to be where we are now. And I love that different styles I talked about.
Su foot, hay parte.
There is part of the fans want Atleti to play with their own crest in order to try and overcome the result. Well, we'll play with the Atleti shirts that we've been using the whole throughout the season. You know, we can't. There's some people who want us to play with the old shirt, but no matter which shirt we wear tomorrow, we have to stand united in order to go through and write history again. Now we're for some questions with Diego Pablo.